I want to give it a silence because that's a good one. Tell me about the trip to Africa and how did that change your perspective?
It made me read. It gave me more to talk about. You might can stop one man. You can't stop a whole country.
What do you think about man's toughness and the emotional work?
I feel men should just shut up, pay bills, and die. I'm fucking with you. Men need to understand their emotions. Understanding is the biggest key.
I started having more appreciation, but at the same time, I started understanding what was happening, how men have been just taken advantage of.
Women too. All the way.
Because
Absolutely.
it's just functional for money.
It's dysfunctional.
It's like just robotic. This is robotic, and this is just for money.
We're going down a path.
Right?
I'll go with you. A man comes up to you and wants to be with you, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, nah, I'm not messing with no man without a Louis bag.
What happened to falling in love?
Hey.
But if you haven't been given that kind of love, where you haven't been given respect as a kid or loved properly or heard, or you just start thinking that, well, you're not worthy of that kind of love.
So you met Tupac, right?
Oh my God. I'm going to Tupac's country.
That's gangsta as hell. Like,
I know.
Am I allowed to ask questions on your podcast? Is that allowed? Or?
Go for it. That's what I have been told based on my skin color, even though I'm African.
Who the fuck told you that? You're from the motherland.
So, I know. So if you do something that's badass, that's what you're going to be called.
My nigga.
Exactly.
Shit gangsta, I like that.
Hello guys, welcome to Nourish Podcast. Today is a special day and with a special guest. Today we're going to speak about deep subjects as usual because we are not superficial. And today we have Nova. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you in my space.
I love it here, honestly.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It really is. It's feel cozy.
Good. Do you feel the art?
I do. What is this? I was looking at that.
That is jungle. So the jungle represents my soul. Yeah, it's a garden. And I want it to feel like I went to Tulum.
Tulum, how was it?
4 years ago. It was good.
Okay.
And I felt a very strong and powerful energy.
I like that.
In the jungle. And there was a lot of art, a lot of music, a lot of dancing. And I got this place right after, like 2 months after. And I wanted Tulum vibes. So I did boho and I did the jungle.
I really like it.
Thank you.
Green is one of my favorite colors. So it really stands out every time I see it. It's the color of abundance.
It is. It's prosperity. It's abundance.
Growth.
It is. I've been seeing green a lot lately.
It's your season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Aries season. I'm an Aries too.
Aries. When's your birthday?
April 11th.
April 11th is coming up.
Yeah. When is yours?
February 27th. Yeah.
Pisces.
That's what they say. I don't really know too much about zodiac and stuff like that.
You're the second Pisces artist that comes in here. I don't think it's a coincidence.
I mean, I'm the best Pisces artist to come here.
Excuse me.
No, like, sorry if I pop
What
my
do you
shit.
mean?
I say what I said. Like,
what makes you the best?
my mindset. Like, why would I walk around thinking I'm not? Your thoughts are your ideas. Ideas lead to behavior. You know? So subconsciously, I'm making myself better by just putting it into the world, bringing it to fruition, you know what I mean?
What did you do to build up this kind of mindset?
Surround myself with people better than me.
Okay. What else?
It's like when you understand, like, that there's levels to this shit, you start to understand what level you're at, you know? Like, the way you build a man is to break him first. So say if I got, like, writer's block in the studio or something like that, I might have my partner right over there. He raps as well. He might got 16 in 15 minutes. So I'm like, oh man. So that makes me want to twiddle my thumbs, get these lyrics out, you know? Mm-hmm. So I start realizing, like, all right, what can I do better? It makes me go back to the drawing board. Let me look at some metaphors, double entendres, you know what I'm saying? Like idioms, really understanding the language behind it. Mm-hmm. And just surround myself by a guy like that now puts me over the guy that's not even thinking in that same bracket, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Would you call it a healthy competition?
All competition is healthy.
Good.
You're going to leave better. Like, are you competitive?
I am competitive towards myself.
Okay.
So I haven't met anybody that's like me yet.
Really? One-on-one?
Literally.
Okay.
Like, I'm still looking for my best friend, my girlfriend even. I have always competed with myself.
Really?
Like the old version, which is the yesterday one. And I've always like felt not enough, which is a bad thing, but also gave me great results. It does come with bad patterns too, because you're never satisfied. And so you're never enjoying the present moment, which kind of got in the way of my own happiness many, many times. Mm-hmm. But I did get to a very great level of growth because of it. So I'm extremely competitive.
Me too. I love competition. It fuels me, you know?
Yeah. And I like to see it. And I like to speak about it. I like to joke about it. I like to tease people about it. I think that it should exist. It's very important. That's why I think that having family where you have siblings is important, because it starts there. Mm-hmm. Where you're like looking at your siblings when you're young, and in the classroom when you're in class, you know. And it's something we always grew up with. Like, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not a good student enough, I'm not like, there's always something that we're comparing ourselves to. Mm-hmm. And if you're not competitive, you're gonna be left behind and always feeling like you're not worthy. Yeah. So the competition is extremely important, I feel.
Absolutely.
When did yours start feeding you in your art?
My competitiveness? I don't know when it fed me in my art, but I heard something that I was watching Michael Jordan highlights or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said something. He said, if you can find competition, he made competition. He said, and he said they're talking shit about him or something like that. He made up, he goes out, drops 40. You know, I'm like, that's the dog in you right there. Because naturally, everybody fears Michael Jordan on the court, you know?
He does compete against himself a lot.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I resonated with that really deeply. It's like, if there was no competition, there'd be no need to be great. Mm-hmm. You know, nobody remembers the good. They only remember the great. Yeah. So I was like, man, the fact that that level exists, that man is what, 60 years old these days, something like that? Mm-hmm. I'm like, they talk about, he's been retired over 20 years. So the fact that he left that kind of legacy, there's no such thing as perfection, but when you chase it like that,
I know.
That's what makes life worth living, you know? Yeah.
You are born perfect, but then you nourish your perfection.
I like how you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
That's literally the meaning of my motto. I'm like, it doesn't mean you're not worthy or you're not enough. You're perfect the way you were born, because that's how you're meant to be and how you're meant to be born. Yeah. But you're also meant to keep pouring onto yourselves and facing everything that you've been raised into and the things that you've been taught, and try to reach self-discovery that way. So I want to know now, what made you start music and when?
So I've told this story before. Wow. So when I was like, probably like 8 years old.
Okay.
My mom used to try to monitor what I'm watching on TV. Like, of course, if you got kids, you want to like kind of censor what kind of information they're absorbing because children mimic things. You want them mimicking bad behavior. Mm-hmm. So she tried to stop me from watching like 106 in Park. You familiar with that show?
No.
Oh my.
I didn't grow up here.
Where'd you grow up?
I literally just learned English, so.
Really?
Yeah.
How long?
6 years ago.
Let's go.
I was born and raised in Tunisia, North Africa.
Really?
So
I've been to Africa.
Where?
Niger. City of Agadez.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It made me extremely grateful for all my blessings today. Absolutely.
I'd love to hear more about that trip. So tell me the story and then we'll go back to the trip.
For sure. So, like I had a TV in my room or whatever. So she'll like try to come in while I'm watching TV, see what I got going on. Say I put it on like Disney Channel or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Then like, you know how remotes have like the previous channel you can go back? Mm-hmm. It'll be 106 in Park. I'm like, naturally, the child's curiosity is going to make them try to figure out, why does she not want me watching this? Then, like, you start to fall in love with it, you know? Mm-hmm. Once you fall in love with it, a child's going to mimic it. And when some people mimic and they're not good, I turned out to be this. I might can pay some bills doing this, you know?
Yeah. So. You were a natural?
I wouldn't say that anybody's a natural because anybody's first song is gonna suck. But the will to want to keep going to like, all right, I can make this good if I keep putting effort into it. And like, if you grind hard enough, you end up on Nourish Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we on? You feel like I feel like I made it at this point. There it is. Yes,
I want to give it a silence. Because that's a good one.
You feel me?
And I'm telling you, like, when we started this, I said this was the end of a cycle and the start of a new one.
There we go.
And you just poured onto it. So it is gonna. I'm so happy you said.
I do what I can. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. Now tell me about the trip to Africa and how did that change your perspective within the art itself, but also mentally? So
I got deployed there, right? So I had to stop in, I stopped in Spain first, then I headed to Africa.
Okay.
You know that feeling you just said about an immense energy when you were in the jungle in Tulum? Mm-hmm. That's the same thing I felt when I stepped in to that desert. Right? Like, they told us I was getting off the plane. They said, put some headphones in your ear because, like, the jet's so loud. Mm-hmm. Like, it can rupture your ears. So I put my AirPods on. I had Tupac Allah's On Me playing. Are you familiar with that song?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was like, the kind of activist Tupac was, I do believe in spirit and transfer of spirit.
I'm actually here because of Tupac, and I'll tell you the story later.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk. Hey, which camera we on? We're going to have a great episode up in here today. Oh,
yeah. I'm telling you, go for it. Tell me.
So I was listening to All Eyes on Me. I was like, oh, what the hell? Uh-huh. It somehow, does it make your heart start beating fast? Then, like, you feel this, like, intense energy, like, over your whole body. Not enough to like to knock you around, but enough to where it's foreign, right? Mm-hmm. So you're taking your steps, boom, boom, boom. This is foreign land now. Like, my mindset is I don't even know what to expect. Mm-hmm. So it's already a sense of, yes, there might be danger around here, but it's kind of like protection you feel somewhat, you know, that survival mode you get put in. Mm-hmm. So once I'm dealing with the fight or flight mode, going through it, I'm like, it feels like I've been here.
Oh my God.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's like my physical being like hasn't touched this earth. I mean, this part of earth. Mm-hmm. But something in me, you know what I'm saying? Mind, body, and soul, the trifecta, one part has been here. So it had to be my soul. So I'm walking through just observing the desert. Normally you get to oh man, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Looking at the bad part of it. But then it feels like, wow, damn, I'm home. So when I felt that, it was amazing. We broke our bags down or whatever. Took them all the way out to call them clues. That's what was my living arrangement. It was like probably half this wall. I got this side. My partner over here got this side. My boy Justin McGee. What's up, boy? So we're living out there I was out there for 7 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had a nice little experience.
So you got to experience it even like deeply.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Did you stay in the same spot or did you move around?
I left for like a month. I had to do gun school in Germany. But as far as like living arrangement, I mean, I moved around like my post or whatever. But as far as I stayed in that same clue majority of the time, I got to be with the Nigerian army, seeing like how much they go without. It made me really understand that this shit right here, this is a blessing.
Yes.
It's not owed to you. Like, when I was living in the clue, see how your bathroom's like just right over there? Probably the distance to get to Ralph's from here was at the bathroom. I'm like, imagine you gotta wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You gotta use the bathroom in the middle of the night. You wake up about 2:30. That little walk is gonna wake you up, lights and stuff. So you can't sleep like that because you already in that fight or flight mode. And then you're supposed to be responsive to anything that try to comes on this base. Naturally, you gotta fight sleep all day long. And it's like, man, like my life was so much easier. You start to learn that gratitude.
Yeah. So how do you think that this whole experience that you just described, how do you think it affected, like I know you said mentally gave you a lot more gratitude and you felt really blessed what you already had. So maybe what you felt lacking was now like absolutely covered because you're like, oh, actually I was not aware of what I had. And how do you think artistically it affected you, your art?
It made me read. It gave me more to talk about. A man grows in solitude, So if I'm at that point away from all my support circle or anything like that, I have no choice but to reflect upon myself. So I'm reading more. I'm learning different things even about myself now, I'm learning how I'm viewed to the world, how people receive me. Some things you might not like or want to change about yourself. You understand that you're not perfect, but to a deeper level to where, okay, I can self-develop myself, in this time period and present a new human being, a more equipped, appearance of yourself.
Yeah.
It was beautiful because I stopped. My music turned more into like life situations and relatability rather than just like money, guns, and bitches, because I started to understand, like, damn, this.
So why do you think seeing and traveling and seeing a different life opens up that perspective? What do you think that is?
Wow. So you see my shirt? What does that say?
Widen your perspective. In green.
Come on, man. So
yeah. So you think that people are limited here to that kind of mindset if you grow up in, let's say in one single spot?
Absolutely. Think about it, right? If you live in here your whole life and you never go outside, if I tell you there's a blue sky out there and it's warm outside, you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. It can't be processed to a human mind that hasn't experienced something like that. I feel like it opens different parts of your brain that you never knew you had, just like reading.
Why do you think it is being discouraged for people to travel here?
It is?
Yeah.
Who's it?
It is.
What a scare is that?
It is. Through subconscious programming, it is.
Really?
It always tells you, like, you know, like, it shows you certain pictures of Africa. People have a certain idea of Africa.
Yep.
People, like, think that it is worse out there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been programmed that way. Everything you watched throughout your whole life, everything you listened to, nothing, from my perspective, because I come from there, was positive. And I'm like, these people don't know anything. You know, like, imagine being the oldest civilization, or one of the oldest civilizations, like, having the most beautiful historical book. And you're like, yeah, I'm actually from Tunisia. People are like, where? And I'm like, oh my God, what happened to geography and history here? It is discouraged. So that's what I mean by, why do you think it's being discouraged? And I assume that you might think that way, but it's actually my personal opinion.
I love to hear your opinion.
Yeah, no. And I'll tell you the Tupac story too. I did not know anything about Tupac.
Wait, before you finish that.
Yeah, tell me.
I do feel you on your last point, on your opinion on that. Because if you can censor someone, you can stop a movement.
Oh my God, yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
That's the same reason why they'll burn books. Like 48 Laws of Power is banned in prisons, you know? Like I said before, those ideas will create behavior. You can stop one man. You can't stop a whole country, you know? Like, united we stand, divided we fall. If you can divide people, you can take over and conquer.
That's amazing. Let's give this one a silent moment for this. And a break. Let's take a break. Okay, so what do you think about...
You ready? All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm dead serious. I'm not playing now.
What do you think about man's toughness and the emotional work?
I feel men should just shut up, pay bills, and die. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Oh.
Let's go home.
Nah, man.
Oh my God. It's literally what is being, like, expected from them, kind of.
Literally, I'm well, goddamn, you know?
Like, can I cry or can I,
like real shit? Like, I really feel like men need to understand their emotions. Understanding is the biggest key, because that, I feel, is a practice in stoicism. You know, if I know what to expect when somebody dies or something like that, there's going to be other people depending on me to be a rock to them, you know? When you bottle everything up inside, you're a ticking time bomb. And like that innocent person may catch that explosion. You know, like, oh man, I got this going in life, this and this and this. Then a tragic event happens. You don't understand yourself or why you're even doing something. I know, like, sometimes, like on my shows or whatever, when I get nervous, I overly do things. Like, normally, like, my gym split is like 3 and 1, right? I fuck around, like, go for like 7 days straight. I'm like, wondering why my body's so tired. But yet I haven't taken a moment for myself to really understand, oh shit, brother, you're dealing with anxiety right now. You have a fear of letting people down. So sometimes I need to check myself within solitude. And that comes from me being a man and my discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like masculinity exists in. You know, like, in this world today, everybody's trying to preach what each other should be. Really, I think it's foolishness on the internet. But when men coach each other on what they should be, and women do the same for each other, hold each other at a sense of accountability, that's when I feel we prosper. Like, I be seeing, like, do you see this as well? It'll be like, Wait, can I talk? How can I talk on this podcast?
As freely as you want to.
Okay, thank you so much.
What is it?
You ever see these podcasts or whatever? It'll be like men bashing women for like an hour, 3 hours straight or something like that. Like,
yeah, I've seen like some bits of it, and guess what? I was once invited for one.
Oh my God.
I was so happy to go because I was like, let me see what this is about. Because I know for a fact that whatever the person is doing is the person that's feeling all those feelings that feel the need to have them projected onto the other. And that podcast never happened. But what point did you want to make out of this?
Well, one, stupidity is contagious. Like, men sitting there telling women what to do and vice versa. Like, especially the men part trying to tell women what to do. I'm like, bro, like, or always saying, oh, men are the prize, women are the problem. I'm like, bro, if you like dick, just say that. Like,
yeah.
You feel me? Because, like, we're not engaging in our own roles.
Yeah.
And understanding what we're meant to do here.
Absolutely. So you think that the other person is supposed to do something for you.
You know?
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, I've done man's jobs, and I think that I've gained so much more respect when I got to experience that. And I started having way more appreciation that I used to. Like, I've always, of course, had respect and all of that, but also had the mindset of like, oh yeah, well, I can do it too, or kind of like that. But then I did the job. Like, because I have values, and I was new to this country, and I had to work, and you know, you have to do some really, really, really tough jobs.
What'd you do?
I drove like those big trucks.
Yo.
I like, I lift heavy weights. That's fine. So I was like, no, I was the only woman of the company. I like waking up at 4 a.m. Yes. I had to like, oh my God. I had to like, you have to like load it up, get the products ready, drive. And then you have to actually get to the spot that you're assigned to. And then you have to prepare everything, and you have to be happy for the customers. Yeah. And even though that part where you do all this was only like 3 days a week, like the rest was more, prepping the product itself. Yeah. I was dead. Meaning, like, you know how like women complain and they're like, yeah, he comes home and he doesn't want to do. I'm like, I want to come home and not do shit.
Like, bro, yes.
Literally. And so I started having more appreciation, but at the same time, I started understanding what was happening, how men have been just taken advantage of.
Women too. Women too. All the way.
But in a different way.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel there's not a creature on this earth that suffers and sacrifices more than a woman. Not even being, what's it called? Like a brownie points to no shit like that. It's like when people really like sit down and think about this shit, right? Women have a cycle, right? That you know is coming. You know, guaranteed you are gonna be in pain every month. And the world still expects you to carry out your duties. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then you sacrifice your body to give birth to another human being.
Women die in childbirth.
Of course.
Like, what the?
I know. Like, just for the sake of creation.
Livelihood. Like,
I know.
It's like, as I'm getting older, I start to understand. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
If I was a woman, I would never have a child. Why the hell? What? Seriously.
I know what you mean.
Like, if I was a woman, I would never get baby fever. I'm like, y'all body, then it's more than just like the physical aspect, right? Say I saw this post the other day. It was like the woman was like, I get so pissed off when my husband's hanging around his boys and he be like, hey, y'all are pregnant. Y'all. while she's sitting there with like the baby pressing against her kidneys or her liver or something like that. Then postpartum, then all the excess hormones going through your body. I'm like, I seen a girl show me her face or something like that. All the excess pimples and stuff because of her hormones. Just for like that time in the moment, I was like, yo.
Yeah, didn't you see the pain tolerance when tattoo artists speak? They tell you women don't, because we have a way higher pain tolerance.
Yeah.
But it can't be understood.
At all. I can't try to understand it.
It's impossible. And I think that when you think about the moon and the sun is like, man, you have to wake up every day, you have the same energy, you have, every 2 hours have a hit of testosterone, you're good to go. And women are more like that moon. And we follow the moon cycle.
Yep.
Where we have to go through so many different moods, so many different shapes, so many different, aspects of yourself. But you still live in a schedule that's been made by a man. And so I think that made us just way more resilient. But it's also creating an unbalance, an extreme unbalance where it's just not, you can't give that respect anymore, because now men have to just level up, because women have like developed the masculinity of the schedule that's been created from men.
I feel like women don't have to adapt the masculinity. I feel like it's being passed down. I believe I need my woman as I hope she will need me. Because you cannot do this alone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, whether people want to believe it or not, like, yeah, you want to go first, go by yourself. You want to go far, go together. So like that kind of behavior keeps getting pushed down, like, you need to learn how to do this. But I'm like, yes, it's good to know how to. But to preach and talk about how much you don't need somebody, that starts pushing away.
It's a lie. You're lying to yourself or you're lying to others.
Literally.
But it could also be in a state of denial, because it's a defense mechanism where you don't want to admit that you actually need somebody. You don't want to admit that you're so lonely. You don't want to admit that it's hard. So just like you put yourself in the best state of mind ever and mindset by telling yourself you're the best, in this case, you just tell yourself that you don't need anybody to basically keep staying strong.
Yeah.
And that's why I actually really feel like we're having this conversation right now, is because there isn't enough vulnerability to speak about us being humans, the most natural things. Like, why there are things we can't just talk about. Why I can't be honest. Why I can't just, if you ask me what's going on, why I can't just be honest, And I think that's another thing that's been part of the socialization and the norms that we're forced to be something, to fit the norms. So we're separated from the most humane trait of ourselves. And in order to keep a functional world, which is functional in a wrong way, because it's just functional for money.
It's dysfunctional.
It's like just robotic. This is robotic, and this is just for money.
We're going down a path.
Right.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to talk about, we can.
Right.
So we going down it. What are we doing?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if we should.
Fuck that. Nah, fuck that, man. We ain't scared.
I don't know. Well, maybe we should make a song, how money is the new God.
I don't think money is the new God, right? I think what they put in front of you, if you choose to worship it, it'll lead you to your own destruction. Because money is printed every day.
Yeah, but it's also made as a necessity.
This is why I say, like, not really, because Say, so you're a beautiful female, right? Woman.
Woman.
Yeah. Hey, I don't want no smoke, okay? I heard about it. Y'all don't like that. Women.
Yeah, we're women. Yeah.
So naturally, like, a man comes up to you, wants to be with you, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, nah, I'm not messing with no man without a Louis bag. Mm-hmm. He don't care how much that Louis bag costs. He wants the Louis bag because of your influence. Mm-hmm. The influence is the new devil. Because, like, just like what we were talking about, what's being presented to us through media. Fuck this man, I don't need a man. Unless he's spending all his money on me. I'm like, yo, what happened to personality? Like, that kind of...
And love. But that,
love.
Like, what happened to falling in love?
Hey, what'd you say earlier?
Take a silent moment. We need a silent moment.
What happened to falling in love?
What happened to falling in love?
It's almost frowned upon.
People are so scared of it. Scared
to be hurt, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Because this is why you brought up the norms and the socialization, because especially men, they bully each other for that. Oh, you're falling for that, huh? Da, da, da. And like, it's like shaming.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not like us, oh my gosh, congrats, you got a new man. And no, it's shaming. It's like almost jealousy. Because feeling for a man is not really allowed. So now, you're having emotions, you know. And now, if you fall in love and get hurt, which should be part of the process and should be normalized, because that's what makes you discover who you are, is now being bullied. So now nobody wants to fall in love. Everybody wants that quick fix of dopamine hit.
Facts.
And be safe, because it's what they associate safety with.
The whole time it's more dangerous.
It is. It's the worst, because you're just so disconnected from yourself now.
When I was younger, right, I feel like as a boy, when you're just still getting to understand what even to do with it, it's like you're dealing with so many females just trying to get your numbers up and look cool to your friends and stuff like that. Instead of fully understanding, like, okay, this is a soul exchange. Do I even like this girl's habits? Like, for me, if I were to be single, I wouldn't even mess with a girl that doesn't have a gym schedule. Because you attract those habits once you sleep with that woman. You know what I mean? Or say she's disrespectful. Do you want that spirit around, like bad energy, like especially the place where you dwell, where you manifest, you're writing in your journal? Would you want that bad energy around? Like you can't even comprehend how sacred that is, rather than just a hit of dopamine. Does this person even really care about you?
I think that comes from the way you've been loved. Yeah. And you basically choose the kind of love that's been given to you. So if you've been lucky enough to have great parents, well, you're going to choose something that looks great for you and healthy and makes sense from the beginning. Like, let me look at the habits. Let me look at the patterns. Let me look at the personality. Let me look if I feel respected around this person. But if you haven't been given that kind of love, where you haven't been given respect as a kid, or loved properly, or heard, or you just start thinking that, well, you're not worthy of that kind of love. What you're worthy of is this person that's actually yelling at you just like you've been yelled at, that's treating you exactly because the mind likes what's familiar. Exactly. It feels safer in what is familiar.
You ain't preaching today.
We should give this one a silence. Oh my God. Right. No, next question. Next question.
What's the question? Talk to me.
I actually have...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, you met Tupac, right?
Oh my gosh, the Tupac story.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Like, Tupac is one of my favorite rappers of all time.
The Tupac story. So I was 14 and my sister is 5 years older than me. And where we come from, we go to France to study after, if you want to do university in Tunisia, it's fine. It's the French system, because French colonization for us ended in the 60s. So that's why we speak French. The academic system is also part French.
Yeah.
And so my sister was like, she looked at my mom, she was like, what? I'm not going to France, the colonizers. I'm going to Tupac's country. And I was sitting there listening. I was like, who's Tupac? Where is LA in the map? And
Tupac's country is crazy.
Tupac's country. She said, I want to go to Tupac's country. And my mom was like, what? What kind of idea is this? And my sister gets what she wants when she wants it.
Type shit.
And she ended up in LA. And that's how I came to visit her. And I ended up here. So it's Tupac that brought me.
Okay, wow. I've never heard of the United States being Tupac's country.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
Right?
That's gangster as hell. Like,
I know.
The fact that someone called it your country, like, what the fuck?
I know.
I'm not going hard enough out here.
No, seriously.
That competitiveness.
And you see like the impact worldwide.
Absolutely.
Of somebody that doesn't even speak English, of somebody now that wants to go to that place of Look, I have goosebumps. Do you know, like, you said activist earlier, like.
I was going to ask you, right? Am I allowed to ask questions on your podcast? Is that allowed? Or?
Go for it. Feel free.
So, not being a native of this country, right?
Yeah.
And you listen to gangster rap, gangster rap like Tupac and stuff like that, how it's interpreted to you, right? How do you find relatability and want to listen to it more when you don't understand the words?
So the first thing that gets you is the energy of the song. You got the beats and you have the person talking. You feel that already. Just imagine a kid that doesn't speak yet, and you look at him, you're like, no. He knows that that's not good. You're not supposed to touch it. You already feel the energy of the meaning.
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is we do learn some English. For me, the third thing I did is if I like a song, the way I hear it, I would pull out the lyrics and translate it.
That's tough.
And then I would learn it, like literally. And so you have to understand something very important. Mindset is the same.
1000%.
So you relate so much to that. For us, for example, the N word is allowed on radios and allowed in the conversations. And it means it's a very powerful word.
Do you say the N word?
Here I don't, but if I sing my song, like our songs, like, of course, I'm going to sing along. Shut up. No. Oh my God. I have to feel comfortable too.
This is a safe space. We're on Nourish Podcast.
I know, but like, I made that mistake in the beginning because I didn't know it was not allowed.
Why weren't you allowed?
Because that's what I have been told based on my skin color, even though I'm African.
Who the fuck told you that? You're from the motherland.
So, I know. It's crazy, right? And that's another thing that we could add to the separation, because for us, we've been colonized so many times through centuries, the North part, that we actually, like, if you look at my DNA, I have like 10%, like 4% Nigerian, 4%, I have like, I think, not Ghanaian, but I have 10% Sub-Saharan African, like not North African, but yeah. I think, but for us it's a different meaning and it holds character.
Is that?
So we relate to that music.
You said it holds character?
Character.
The word?
Badass, of course. It means badass. So if you do something that's badass, that's what you're going to be called.
My nigga.
Exactly.
Shit gangsta, I like that.
So I want to know.
What do you want to know?
So what's your next project?
Hey, Frank, you think I should tell him the name of the next project?
Go ahead.
So the name of the next project is Liquor Storefront. That is the name of it. It's an EP. You
This is an out-of-the-box Wayne kind of name.
want to know why?
Boy.
So you buy a bottle, right? So you just
Yeah.
drinking with your homegirl or your partner, whatever. Do you know what you're going to talk about off the influence of alcohol? Everything. You're going to talk about God. You're going to talk about your goals. You're going to talk about love.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to talk about your past.
Original.
You know? My uncle actually came up with the name for that title. It's a song. It's the name of a song on there. But I was thinking, I'm like, damn. I'm like, bro, I have no name for this EP. He said, do that. I said, no, that's stupid. Why would I do that? I was going to name it Larger Than Life. He said, all right, go ahead and name it the same thing as 76 other albums. I was like, God damn. All right, I guess we're going to go to Liquor Storefront. But it's just I don't even know the word for this. It's being able to wrap everything up.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
basically, you're going to have a sip or a bottle of that liquor storefront, and each bottle has a story, and each song is going to tell the story. That's how I feel it's going to be.
I feel like it's a nice bottle, right? The whole album, the whole EP.
Okay?
But it's tequila, all right?
Okay.
But the songs, they're shots of Anejo.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I really think.
Hear it. And I think it is pretty original.
Thank you.
And I think it also pushes both the artist, you, to really share and make it something that is shared on alcohol. Because, yes, as you said, everything is shared more easily on alcohol, unfortunately.
I hate it.
It shouldn't be that way.
Because of fear.
Yeah, but even for the listener, it's a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So, congrats. Can't wait.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing a piece of you, of your art, and your story.
Yeah.
This is really nourishing and encouraging,
This was
especially
nourishing.
for people in our generation, to go ahead and be deeper and not fear that depth and the fears. And I think that I wish we had had more time to speak about how you also switched careers and you've kind of experienced many different things. And I think that it'll be a good mystery to hear it within your music.
I really can't wait for people to hear this as well.
Yeah. I can't wait.
So, thank you so much
Thank you
for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
My pleasure. This is the end of the cycle and the beginning of new one. I'm telling you.
I love the beginning.